The Wellness Connection, brought to you by the Lovejoy Community Service. Learn more right after this.
Your life is filled with opportunities to show the world you can take charge. It's waking up each day with a mission. It's working each day toward a goal. It's choosing to rise. It's charging forward with a purpose. It's changing the course of your life and taking charge of your future. If you're ready to be a Take Charger, enroll at Georgia Highlands College today.
Welcome to Community Watch. Greg,
Doc,
how you doing?
I'm all right, and yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. Our guests are going to be joining us shortly. We're going to talk about an event that we have talked about some in the past, right? But
Correct.
It seems like it's become a bigger thing.
Yes, it has grown, I think. I think it has grown over the years, and so it'd be interesting to find out what else, what it has grown into.
Yeah. And is it just me, or I mean, are people taking wellness much more seriously now than back in the day? Because back in the day could be any time, but
Well, actually, I think it's a little bit of both. I think we're talking more about wellness, but then again, wellness, how do you define wellness? I think, because you know, I've been doing a lot of work on this lately.
yeah.
There's a difference between fitness and wellness. There's a difference between looking good and looking prosperous and actually being on an internal level. And so I think with a lot of TV, a lot of apps, a lot of stuff, a lot of people talking about it, but then again, it's deeper. So I don't know, because we're still doing a lot of the same things we used to do.
Yeah.
We're just calling it different.
Well, our guests are going to join us shortly. I'm sure they can explain all this,
Yeah.
because they're getting deeply into it. We will have two fascinating guests with us today, and they will be joining us right after this break. Do not go away.
You're not sitting here.
Yes, I am.
Give it to him hard.
No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stab me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how.
Oh, you got...
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We are very happy to have with us Ms. Valerie Howard, who has been a guest with us before, and Ms. Cassandra Dennis. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, my memory of this, Ms. Howard, I believe you were on the show last year.
Yes, sir.
And your walking event was the main thing we talked about.
Right.
So just looking at the information that you have shared with us, this looks like a much bigger thing.
Yes, sir, it is.
It has grown.
It has grown. And I first like to say I thank Reverend Ingram for sharing his center and his vision, which was partnered with my brother George for the Wellness Connection. And last year we got rained out with the walk a mile. So my prayer was to have an indoor facility, and they provided this.
So that won't be a problem.
That won't be a problem this year. But in addition to that, my brother had the idea, well, let's broaden it to finance, home ownership, and the other areas that's on the flyer that Cassandra will talk about. But we're still focusing on heart disease, which is still the #1 killer among women. And we want to introduce that idea, focus on it, because women, again, is the primary caretaker of a family, many families. And if they are not in good health, it's difficult to care for others when you're not in good health. And there's small changes that they can do that would expand their lives, eating the right foods, exercising, going to the doctor, checking your numbers, stop smoking. If you stop smoking in a year time, your life span could increase 50%.
It's interesting that you say that, and you call it the wellness connection, because I'm of the belief that wellness is a holistic thing.
Yes.
I don't know if you can be physically well but financially unhealthy. I don't know that you can be financially well but physically unhealthy.
Right.
I think when I think of wellness, I think of holistically.
Yes.
Where you at in all of these phases of your life, not just one or two. And I think so many of us right now, it's just so popular, the physical fitness and wellness. And even that, sometimes you have to question what is fit. But a lot of times we don't want to talk about those financial things,
Yes.
which can bring about a lot of stress,
Yes, it
which can
does.
contribute to sickness. So I'm glad to see that y'all have expanded this, because I think in a lot of communities, but I do believe in the African American community, we are still very slow to want to talk about finances and where we are, and we're embarrassed to discuss them and
Yes.
talk about them. And it can be fixed, or people can help you get in a better situation, but you have to be
Yes.
willing to say I need help.
I
with
need
this.
help.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Ms. Dennis, so what is all of this?
It's empowerment. If you, like you said, healthy, whole, all of you, your finances, your physical, your mental, everything that empowers you. So we connecting all these things together. Like she said, we want the heart to be healthy. We're doing a credit care. We're gonna have a person there to talk about credit and how to get your numbers up, your credit score up, and so that you can buy a house, or a car, or whatever it is that you want. And we'll be talking about debt elimination, how to get your finances, what to spend, what not to spend. Get your finances in order. There are a lot of plans, out there that people don't know about, but by bringing it and putting it in their lap, that's what we're doing.
Yes.
They can come and they'll see, because sometimes people need visuals, to see, because you hear about debt relief on TV and all that stuff, but people never, like you said, they're afraid to. But if they come and see it physically, we want to empower and encourage them to talk to somebody about eliminating their debt, managing their money.
It's interesting that you say that, because recently, I was in a situation where my car was totaled, and so I had to get a new car. And it's a different process. It's a different mindset when you know you can get financing.
Yeah.
When
Yes.
you know
Right.
you don't have to put down a down payment if you don't want to.
Right.
It's a different mindset, and it makes the process so much easier when you walk into a dealership or wherever and you say, well, I need to get a car. And you just don't have all of this stress about it, because you know you're in a better position.
Right.
Yes.
So that you know you can, so then it becomes a question of, what do I get? Not can I get a car because I
Right.
need one, but what do I get?
Right.
And then having enough wherewithal to say, well, I'm not going to spend this amount of money because I know I
Right.
have those payments. I'm going to stay over here.
Yes.
But it is a different mindset. And it's
It
just,
really
it's
is.
not even, it's not stressful.
No, it's not.
And I think that's so important.
It is.
Along
It
with
is.
I like to add that you realize that you have the power, that these people are going to give you a service. So you're not stressed about making a bad decision, or am I in a position to purchase this car? You have the power. And that's a different, like you said, mindset when you know your worth, when you know what you're working with. And these tables of information will help people know that they do have a say on how they can increase and reestablish their lifestyle in a healthy way. There'll be also a young lady who will give out information about scholarships and grants and financial aid for those who are interested to go to college. There'll be a young lady who will have information about Primerica insurance and how you can make a business out of that. So it has really spread into different areas of our lives. And I agree totally, Greg and Dr. Hershey, that if one part is not healthy, then the other parts will get weak. So we must strengthen those weak areas so we can become whole. And so I'm so excited about this event. We'll also have healthy snacks and water available for those who participate.
I don't mean to cut you off,
Yes.
but for years, we have our health initiative for men, the 100. And here we have this health fair, great health fair.
Yes, it was.
Great screening.
Yes.
But the snacks,
Biscuits.
Are they
totally unhealthy. Good, but they're not the healthiest choice. So for several years now, we've had a healthier option.
Yes.
And thanks to our community partners for providing that. I'm not saying the food we had was bad, but it wasn't the healthiest choice. And so it's like, we had a health fair, but so
Yes.
I'm glad you said y'all gonna have some healthy snacks.
Yes. Amen, amen.
Well, I know that the event, the walking event,
Yes.
and I want to talk some more about that, but I know that your focus was women, getting women to walk, to exercise, and to be aware of their heart health.
Yes.
So this larger event, does it focus also on women?
It also, I want to say, it's going to focus on the family. That includes men as well. It is goal red for women, but we want to extend it to the family, because a healthy family is a productive family, and that means the husband, the significant others, the children. We have obesity in our children. We got to get them back on track.
But let's be honest though.
Yeah.
But if mama is healthy,
everybody
else
yes.
tend to be healthier.
Yes,
So
that's
if
right.
and so and that's why I'm not ashamed to say that I'm glad y'all are focusing on women, because we know, especially in
Yes.
our community,
Yes.
most of our families are headed by female single women.
Yes.
And so if mom's unhealthy physically and financially,
And
those
mentally,
Yes.
those are the things that the children learn.
That's right.
And so I do see the need for that.
Yes.
Because a lot of times we know, I'm just learning now, we think eating healthy is expensive, but it's really not.
No.
It's about choices, that if you really look at the choices, you can eat you can eat very cheaply and eat healthy. It's just a matter of learning that.
Right.
So I do see the need for the focus on women.
Yes,
Because so many
yes.
of our families are headed by women.
That's true.
And
That's true.
so that's a community we need to be addressing.
Right.
And if a woman has a man, she can change his habits.
Exactly, exactly.
She can change what he
Very
eats.
true, that's right. And that's the point of healthy cooking.
Yeah.
Women can prepare in advance, so you don't have to run to McDonald's with the children. You can have healthy food already prepared. And so yes, the women is the key factor in our families. And how can a woman who's had a heart attack care for her children? So we want to make healthy, we want to produce and make aware of a healthy heart among our women.
Well, we're coming up on our break here, but when we come back, we're going to talk more about the overall event and how you've put it together, and more details about it. So,
Amen.
more coming. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
1,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you've smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We're talking with Valerie Howard and Cassandra Dennis about a wellness event coming up
February 9th.
Saturday, February 9th. And it is going to be at the Joy Life Center of Lovejoy Church. Is that correct?
Yes.
From 9 a.m. to 1
From
p.m.
9 till 1. So 9 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon.
Yes, and I like to say is Lovejoy Community Service, Inc. That is, is the location and sponsoring and, in connection with the Walk a Mile.
Okay.
Now, I see some of the things on here. I mean, there's quite a few things on here. And I'm just curious, and based on last year, did y'all just kind of see a need for this based on last year? Or how did y'all come up with, I guess, the desire to kind of expand this and grow?
Well, my brother George, he is the person that came up with the idea with Reverend Ingram. And Reverend Ingram has always wanted something in this kind of capacity. And my brother George was just thinking on the same line. So when my brother George moved here, he, from Virginia, he has always had this idea in his mind. And when he met Reverend Ingram, it was like, oh my goodness, we're on the same track. And so that's how this idea was introduced. And I'd just like to shout out to him. He had suffered a mild stroke, and so I prayed for a healthy recovery.
And, when I think about this, Dr. Hershey, that some of these, I guess, part of the American dream is that, we just the rugged individual. And so I guess a lot of us and a lot of families struggle in so many ways. And it's obvious when you just look at our health overall. We've got to be one of the most unhealthy nations, especially of the what they call developed world. We're one of the most unhealthy. And when you just think about the recent shutdown of the government and the financial stress people are going through, I'm glad to see that there are some services being offered to the community. And I'm assuming this is free.
Yes, it is.
That, just having, when people do come to the realization, I need to get help, sometimes help is not always available or help is not always affordable. So I'm glad to know that there are organizations out there in Rome that are constantly making available services such as this, because we do know people, not just people, we know we need some of these services.
Yes.
And so I'm thankful that the Lovejoy Community Service Incorporated and this whole Wellness Connection has actually been offered to the community.
Amen. I certainly do agree with that. I also like to mention with the Walk a Mile observant, we are appreciative with any donations that people want to give. We also like women to wear their red and comfortable shoes. We'll go upstairs up to the walk to the track upstairs, and so we also have a creative activity where they can color a shoe, and if they want to have a memory, in the memory of someone who they lost. And unfortunately, Rome has suffered a lot of loss within the last 3 months. If they want to write or color something in the memory of that person, or even for themselves, I cut it out, color it, and they can color, but I put it on beautiful paper, get it laminated, and it's for everybody to see. This is my 4th year, and I want to put a display up during this Walk a Mile.
So the walking event this is the 4th?
The 4th year.
So 4 years ago,
yes,
when you first started the walking event, what inspired you to do it then? What made you decide this is something that needs to happen?
Well, the first year was in another community we have 2 events on the same day. One is in Atlanta, and it's associated with my church, St. James AME Zion Church, which is the, my part is the missionary part. And it started in Somerville, but then we had a lot of people in Rome that would participate, so they put it, you know, I became the chairperson for it. And I'm passionate about it because I could see within myself that I'm more conscious of my health and my well-being, you know, to eat better, do better exercise. And I say better because I have to target certain areas, you know. So walking, I'm on a road of being more healthy. And not just physically, mentally, socially, spiritually, economically, you know. So I want to introduce that idea, and I so love this idea because we need to be whole people, you know. And so families have to be, we would love the families to be on board, women be on board. And I think their lives will be so more valuable and better equipped, because I realize I'm my grandmother. You know, when I think about the legacy of our families, those who are my age, we got to pass it on. We got to pass it on because our grandparents and great-grandparents and our parents, they were the ones who held the family together. We got to get that back.
Now, I got a quick question. You said Somerville?
Somerville, yes.
Georgia?
Yes.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's my hometown. You said
Is it? Okay. It started there in this part, yes.
But you know, when you were saying, I was just thinking, and really you got 3 different events in my mind. You have the walk, you have the financial literacy, and you just have the community aspect of the church.
Yes.
When I look at this.
Yes.
But I can reflect growing up in Somerville, really Gore, that the church was the center for so much of everything we done.
Yes.
And the idea of family health. You know, I think sometimes we talk about, you know, I'm going to the gym or this person is doing this, but the family health,
yes.
I think get lost in that a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
And I can envision, you know, families being there, walking together.
Yes.
You know, we say a family that prays together, stays together, and all these things, but it's other things families can do together as well. But it seems like the way the fast pace of society, we all are kind of pulled in our separate ways. But health is one of those things you can do as a family.
That's right.
Taking some of that pressure off mom. You know, other people can make meals and make healthy meals, and so I'm really excited about this because I do believe that in our community in particular, we have to return to some of those things we've lost.
Yes.
Some things, we shared and it was for the best, but some things we got to make sure we maintain and we hold on to, and that family core is one of them.
Absolutely.
Well, Ms. Dennis, I'm kind of intrigued by some of the financial health elements of this day. How did y'all decide what pieces to include when you were organizing things?
This was Reverend Ingram and George, their idea. They came up with all these ideas.
Typical men.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we got these ideas. We want
y'all. So they came up with these ideas, and you know, we had to try to pull it together to get the people to participate, and that was our job.
So y'all had to do the actual hard work.
The hard work, yeah.
the usual.
Yeah, because I had given a empowerment workshop a couple of months prior, and they asked me to be on this committee to help with this. So, like I say, they need all these things, and from that workshop we had prior, you know, I realized that people are hungry for this stuff because those people they asking us to do another one, and so then this one is coming up. So it's great because you need to know your numbers, like your blood pressure, your diabetes, A1C levels. You need to know these things because people die every day with high blood pressure and diabetes and don't know that My son bought me a blood pressure machine because I usually have a good blood pressure, but it was up one day when I went to the doctor. And kids take care of you. But we need to know these things.
Yeah.
And some people don't realize that they're walking around almost at death's door.
Yes.
Not because they're stupid, but because they just don't know.
And I think you can get so comfortable living with the symptoms that you just think I'm fine. I'm fine. And just let me just rest a little bit.
Right.
Just back in the day, just drink some water and take a nap.
Yeah.
Or let me take a bare aspirin.
Yeah.
Like speaking of her brother, his wife said that when he started having symptoms, that's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and lay down. I'll feel better.
Right.
And she said, No, you're not. We're going to the hospital.
And that's the first thing that a person needs to do is call 911 when they feel these type of symptoms, tightness in the chest, if they feel lightheaded. Pain in their arm, on their backs, sweating, sneezing even for some people, and sometimes the symptoms are different between men and women. But basically, when you feel those symptoms, man or woman, you call 911 and go to emergency.
Well, I have insurance, so if my eye twitch, I'm going to the I'm serious. My eye twitch, I'm going to the pay my little copay.
Greg, you're blessed. So many of us don't.
Exactly.
So a person told me I was in South Carolina and I didn't feel right. And my first concern is, I don't have my insurance with me, or they said, God said to me, he spoke to me directly and said, look, you go. And I went, So when you do feel these symptoms, please do not hesitate and call 911 or get to the hospital as quick as you can.
Go ahead.
And, we're going to have somebody talk about substance abuse because we know that everywhere is drug infested. It's a hidden disease sort of that people don't talk about. Because we know a lot of women are on meth, and or sometimes they're on alcohol. They're alcoholics.
Or prescription drugs.
Yeah, prescription drugs.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so we want to address these things, as well.
Well, we've got another break coming up here, but we will be back with more. Do not go away.
Your life is filled with opportunities to show the world you can take charge. It's waking up each day with a mission. It's working each day toward a goal. It's choosing to rise. It's charging forward with a purpose. It's changing the course of your life and taking charge of your future. If you're ready to be a Take Charger, enroll at Georgia Highlands College today.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We've been talking with Cassandra Dennis and Valerie Howard about an event coming up on Saturday, February 9th that you, especially women, need to be in attendance. It is a Walk a Mile observance, fourth annual Walk a Mile, but it's a much bigger event at the Joy Life Center of Lovejoy Church on Branham Avenue in Rome, and it includes wellness of many categories. So from 9 until 1 p.m. on that Saturday at the Joy Life Center, women in particular, you need to be there. Thank y'all for being with us.
Thank you.
And we'll see you all next time on Community Watch.
Thank you.